Howdy, chump! Mr. Kennedy here, as if I needed an introduction. Just calling to say that the word on the street is that Teddy Long made a match for us tonight on Smackdown. Look, I got no problem with you, but it seems like T. Lowe's doing you some sort of favor by putting you in the ring with a legend in the making like myself. I guess maybe he owes you a favor or something? Anyway, I know you're gonna go out there and do your thing, and I'm gonna go out there and do my thing. Just stay out of my way until the bell rings. Try not to embarrass yourself, and I'll try to go easy on you after that. Ciao, fella.
Mr. Kennedy!
I turn up the trouble till it gets real loud. I feel so much better than we're already. Mess with your mind, 'cause I know that I can. Gonna see how much I can quit today, yeah. Gonna serve to feel like it just won't quit. Can't get used to my rubbing your nose in it. Step a little closer, look through my fire. Troubles my drug takes me higher and higher. Turn up the music, light up the crowd. Turn up the gas.
Now that I have everybody's attention, I would just like to remind you that I weigh in tonight at 246 pounds. I hail from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Kennedy! Kennedy! Mr. And the opponent, who has no chance whatsoever of victory here tonight, he hails from some inbred village of mentally deficient hicks, born to parents who happen to be first cousins. He perpetually struggles with personal hygiene.
Oh, what's he doing? I love Mr. Kennedy's introductions. Kennedy!
Well, I don't think anyone's ever interrupted Mr. Kennedy quite like that before. But if you ask me, it's a long time coming. Welcome to a sold-out Smackdown from San Antonio, Texas. Do we have an exciting show for you tonight?
Oh, I'm telling you, man, I can't wait for the action to start. Just listen to these fans.
What a counter that was!
It's so great seeing these athletes compete here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later.
There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did.
That's for sure. You know, any time you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed to get a hell of a show.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight. He was one step ahead on that one. Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle, Cole. An injured superstar's like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest.
And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent.
You got that right, Cole. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponent think you're easy pickings.
Well, I wouldn't consider any of these superstars to be easy pickings, no matter how beaten up they get. Wow, listen to that chant, Taz.
Tell you what, if you got the crowd on your side, I don't know, he's putting a lot on the line going up there. Nice grip count. Hey, the ref's got a tough job. I mean, trying to keep these superstars on the up and up, that's hard.
Well, it's easier to get some superstars to play by the rules than others.
You know what, Cole? If you're going to get on your high horse again and give us another lecture about playing fair, I swear to God, I'm going to throw up.
Is it so wrong to ask a superstar to play by the rules, Taz? That doesn't seem to be so unreasonable to me.
That's because you never competed in a match, Cole. If you did, you'd know that you gotta do whatever it takes to win. And if that means bending the rules a bit, well then, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know, Cole, I got a lot of respect for Chris Benoit, but he also jumped back and forth between Raw and SmackDown more than any other superstar. It almost looks to me like you might be choosing the path of least resistance, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, I doubt that very much, Taz. Chris Benoit never runs from anything. Oh my, the submission hold is locked in.
And this ain't easy to get out of either, Cole.
He knows his opponent is completely helpless.
Here's your winner, Chris Benoit.
Well, look who's coming to the ring with Mark Henry. Everyone's favorite loudmouth, Mr. Kennedy.
You don't think this has anything to do with Mr. Kennedy's little, what do you call it, altercation with Mark Henry's opponent last week, do you?
I think it's got everything to do with that, Taz. Kennedy's up to something, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what it is.
Hey, what's Kennedy doing? Look, he's grabbing the mic. Shh, shut up!
his way to the ring, the latest victim of the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. A man who deserves everything he's about to get tonight. A superstar who, as it turns out, isn't much of a star at all. I give you, what's his name? What's his name?
Good evening, and welcome to Los Angeles, where a sellout crowd is ready for some Smackdown action. I'm Michael Cole here with Taz at ringside.
Yeah, baby, LA, it's always full of stars, but tonight, we're gonna get to see some WWE superstars.
And not just any superstars, but the Smackdown superstars, the greatest superstars in sports entertainment. Tinseltown will never be the same.
Watch it, he reversed it. These superstars are on top of their game, but only one of them is going to have their hand raised at the end of this one.
And that's a real shame because, like you said, this has been a great match so far.
Well, what do you want, Cole? You want to say that everyone wins so nobody gets their feelings hurt?
I never said that. I'm just saying that in a great match like this, everyone involved deserves credit for it.
He ain't taking any chances with this submission, Cole. Look at how tight he's got it locked in.
I see that, Taz. I wouldn't be surprised if he got his opponent to tap out right here.
Here's the pin. This could be it. I love hearing the crowd too.
Wow, I thought he had the pin for sure.
I'll tell you what right now, I love watching Mark Henry get it done in the ring. There ain't another guy in that locker room who can pick apart an opponent like Mark Henry.
You say that like it's a good thing, Taz. Personally, I wish Henry would focus more on winning matches and less on ending careers.
Chris Benoit is a great technical wrestler, no doubt about it, I'm telling you. But after taking all the abuse he's taken in his career, I don't know if he's got what it takes to win here tonight. This is just dumb, Cole. You don't win a match by taunting your opponent to death.
I disagree, Taz. Getting the crowd on your side can be a huge psychological boost. I think we're about to see a high-risk move from the top rope.
I think these fans have got a little something they want to share with us.
That's their right, Taz. They paid for their tickets after all. He's going for the pin. Mark Henry is one of the most terrifying individuals to set foot in a WWE ring, and I think it's only a matter of time before he seriously injures someone.
And that's supposed to be a bad thing? Come on, Mikey! How many times am I supposed to tell you this? This ain't ballet!
No one's saying that it is, Taz, but Mark Henry takes everything to new heights of viciousness.
Well, that's one of the perks of being the world's strongest man.
A textbook reversal. Can he follow up? I think that if one of these superstars successfully executes their finishing move, this one is over.
That ain't necessarily the case, Cole. Just because it's called a finisher doesn't mean it always ends the match.
You sound like you're speaking from experience here, Taz.
Of course not. Whenever I locked into Taz's mission, that was it. End of story. It was over.
I think you're developing a selective memory in your old age, partner.
This is one heck of a match so far.
It sure is, Taz. What do you think the highlight is?
Here's the pin! Wow, talk about cutting it close. That was almost free.
And the crowd has come alive tonight with a chant directed at the superstars in the ring.
Yeah, and you can't let that break your focus. But that's easier said than done. Man, I'll tell you what, man, this one's just turned into a fight. Pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it kind of took me by surprise, Cole. And that don't happen too often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. we both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you, Cole, like they say, anything can... He smells blood in the water, Cole. He's going straight for the submission.
And this could prove to be a decisive moment in this match.
Wow, great reversal. You know, Cole, I got a lot of respect for Chris Benoit, but he also jumped back and forth between Raw and SmackDown more than any other superstar. It almost looks to me like he might be choosing the path of least resistance. Oh, man, this is just about the last hold you want to find yourself in.
I can imagine. Just look at the pressure being applied here.
Oh, man, these fans are fired up now.
They sure are, and you know that's going to have an effect on this match. Submission hold locked in. We may see a tap out right here.
And even if you can't make your opponent tap out, this will take a lot of fight out of him.
Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle, Cole. An injured superstar is like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest.
And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent.
You got that right, Cole. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponent think you're easy pickings.
Well, I wouldn't consider any of these superstars to be easy pickings, no matter how beaten up they get. I'll never understand why Mark Henry resorts to the brutal tactics he uses against his opponents. He's already the world's strongest man. What's he got left to prove?
Well, I guess like most women, you're squeamish.
Talk about adding insult to injury. And these fans love it.
Yeah, well, you know what? He better worry more about the injury and less about the insult until this match is over.
I think we're hearing the First Amendment in action here tonight, Taz.
It's a great...
What's he up to now?
Oh, man! World's strongest slam! That was vicious! I think Benoit might have lost a step or two when he took that little vacation from SmackDown, you know what I'm saying? We all know that the competition on Raw isn't exactly impressive, and I think Benoit might have gotten a little rusty.
What are you talking about? If anything, Benoit's become more impressive since he went to Raw. It's great to see him in action again tonight.
Well, I'll tell you this much. There ain't no doubt in my mind that Mark Henry really is the world's strongest man. The power of this guy is purely...
What a deadly submission hold this is. We might see a tap out right here.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit. The longer you stay in this, the more risk...
Can you believe this? Mr. Kennedy's organizing a mugging of Mark Henry's opponent.
What is Kennedy doing? He's calling for the timekeeper's bell.
Oh my God! Kennedy almost took his head off!
That's my boy, you understand? You mess with Kennedy, you're messing with me.
Now do you see? Now do you see what happens when you disrespect me? Now do you realize that you are insignificant next to Mr. Kennedy? Kennedy! Mr.
you recovered from Ken Kennedy's attack last week. I know you probably want a piece of Mr. Kennedy, but I'm not sending you out there without some backup because I don't want you to take any chances with your neck and throat injuries. So tonight, you and your partner are going to team up to take on Kennedy and Mark Henry in a tag team match. Go get 'em, player, and good luck.
This time we got a care package from the homie Shekuden. Sent us some fire ass shit. Homeboy sent us some stuff from his brand, which is called Sports. Broken down for you real quick. Start pushing or remain the same.